Aerodrome Finance price update. Why this next move will catch most people off guard. My name is mikemadz. Let's start this video. Before I start the video, as always, AERO community, base community, make some noise. Every like matters, every comment matters. The more people engage, the better for the video, the better for Airdrome. The more people see it, the better for us. Okay, so appreciate you. Let's start. All right, let's stop wasting time. Let's jump straight into it. Of course, today, Airdrome, the main topic. Airdrome, the sleeping giant. I will show you metrics here that most people are absolutely sleeping on that represent massive upside here for the AERO token. Microcaps with the best, hands down, best 100x setups here. As moonboyish as this might sound here, I truly believe those are the two best 100x setups right now as we speak. Airdrome, updated price prediction here, and outlook for the next couple of days, weeks and months, and caution, avoid this mistake right now as we speak here. Unfortunately, a mistake I'm seeing a lot of people doing as we're speaking at this moment here. Okay, now Airdrome, the sleeping giant. As always, let's take a look at behind the curtains here, if Airdrome is actually moving in the right direction here in the base ecosystem, or if we're covering a project here that is actually dead. Okay, now taking a look at Airdrome, as you can see here, long story short here, we don't need to talk about volume. Everybody knows now by now here, volume is on Airdrome here. Now base volume is mainly on Airdrome, and as you can see here, this is also of course represented in those charts. But the most important thing, just like I covered in my last videos here, DEX trading on Coinbase will bring new users into Airdrome. Now, before we get into that, we have to see how is it going to happen. Okay, so how is it going to look like for retail to use Airdrome inside the Coinbase app? Is it going to be user-friendly? Are people actually going to use that feature? Is it actually going to translate into more volume or not? And the more important question is when it's going to happen here. As we all know here, time is running out. My base case here that 2026 is going to be a bear market, and we're already here very far into the year. So when is it going to happen is also a very important question to ask. But overall here, this is going to be, of course, a massive liquidity event here for on-chain projects and also for Airdrome here that hopefully bring us to much higher prices. Now, taking a look at that, of course, one of the most important things for our price prediction targets is comparing Airdrome to other DEXs. And as you can see here, Airdrome generated more than $200 billion here, capturing, and this is one of the most important things, basically over 60% of all trading on base here. So again, this just underlines the fact that trading is happening, or base trading is happening on Airdrome, and the number one base representation is just simply Airdrome, and nothing comes close to that here. Now, taking a look at that, of course, price comparison many people like to do here, but I want to ask you a question on top of that. Now, of course, taking a look at Airdrome here, comparing it to Uniswap with this kind of volume differences here, Airdrome still has a 6x as we are speaking right now. So if today, as we speak, Airdrome were to be valued like Uniswap, it will still be a 6x from here. Now, the most important question you need to ask yourself right now is Airdrome actually undervalued, or is actually maybe Uniswap overvalued here? In my personal opinion, Uniswap is a blue chip project here. Many people, Ethereum based projects use Uniswap. It's basically the DEX here. So I'm not trying to undermine Uniswap. What I'm trying to say here is most probably though, Airdrome is simply undervalued. Okay, so long story short, price predictions for Airdrome we will cover shortly. Again, the metrics look great. The outlook is looking better than ever before. So we'll have to see where the price can go. Now, before we continue here with Airdrome, I want to present you two microcaps with amazing 100x potential setups. I know this 100x calls sound crazy, but I want to show you actually, just in my recent video, since my call here in the Telegram, we're up over 30x here. So it is possible here. If you're not on the lookout for those setups, you will never gonna find them. You will FOMO at much higher prices. This is why I like to cover those topics. I know most people like to shy away from those titles and from those words. I personally don't, because I truly believe there is a way to identify those projects, and 100x's are possible in crypto. This is why we are in the crypto space. Now, first things first, the first project here is actually on Solana. I covered it in my last video, and heads up here, I will most probably cover this project every single video that I'm gonna keep doing this cycle. Why? Because this is basically one of my biggest conviction bags here on Solana here. Which project am I talking about? I am talking about black gold here. I talked about it in my last video. Last video I covered it around the level of 120K. Right now we're sitting at over $1 million in market cap. So I told you, acquire a position here. I'm very, very bullish on it for reasons, okay? If you think you're late, you're not late, guys. I know we got used to this micro caps, and if we see this $1 million market cap, we think we're too late. Guys, I will show you here the upside potential and price predictions for this token. Again, black gold, one of the best looking charts here in crypto right now, hands down. Again, just a summary here. It's a proof of work token here. Why is this so important? Again, if you are a founder, if you are a crypto project, the most important question you need to ask yourself is, how are you gonna distribute the initial token supply in a fair way? Usually projects go with VCs and those types of mechanisms, and then retail gets absolutely wrecked on as they come way too late. VCs have a beautiful entry, they distribute on retail, and retail just simply gets dumped on. With proof of work, you can avoid that because you can simply from day one mine the token here, and you have a fair distribution mechanism. Of course, if done right, this can be one of the most fairest things here in the crypto space, in my personal opinion. Now, second thing here, legendary dev. Sven is an absolute legend here. Shout out to him. He has massive experience here. He wrote a book on programming. He's very, very well connected to the Solana eco. Basically, every single important person on Solana is following him here on X, Toli, Mert, etc. And of course, the most important thing for investors here, it is simply undervalued in my personal opinion, especially here for what we have seen here in the past with other projects. And I want to present you other proof of work projects here. Now, you have to keep in mind, every project has different tokenomics, different roadmaps, different theses, but this is a nice visual representation here of what is possible here with black gold. Now, and especially here, if you think you're too late, I don't think so. You're still very, very early actually. Okay, now, comparing it with Bitcoin actually, a mining token on Abstract, Bitcoin went to over $100 million in market cap, guys. So still a 100x from here. Or another project here on Solana, proof of work, which is which is the most similar right now, I would say, to black gold, went to over $40 million. So still a 40x from here. And if you want to compare it to actually big boys here of proof of work project to Ravencoin went to over $200 million in market cap. Guys, I need to remind you, in bull markets, projects can go to 50 million and you can still consider it to be early, guys. I know in this recent cycle, dynamics are a little bit different, but I think we are moving into this alt season here in Q4, and this is going to be one of my biggest conviction bags. I'm not going to sell, not planning to sell anytime soon. I'm not paid by the team, and this is by far my biggest conviction bag here, especially for microcaps. Now, second things up here, we have Ample with the AMPed token. Also a project I like to cover here. This project is actually on Base. I know I'm a Base channel here, still sitting at 500K market cap. Again, massive upside potential. Also, not a bad looking chart here. We're holding this higher lows, which is good to see. Most other microcaps are absolutely wrecked. So not a bad looking chart. And I want to remind you here, Ample and Amped here, it's a real utility project here. IP is a massive industry. A lot of liquidity can flow into it. Do not sleep on it. Hardworking team, very important. You can meet Kenny basically at any minute, basically always in the Telegram group here, answering questions, rating, working non-stop. This is a fact here not to be slept on. If the team is not working, why should you be pushing the project? Okay, super important. And of course, the most important thing is massive upside here price-wise. And they also came out with staking here. And just like I said here in my recent videos, the flywheel effect is one of the best ways to acquire wealth here in the crypto space. And how this works is you find a low market cap gem that makes sense, has utility, you're bullish on the team, you stake it, okay? With staking, you're increasing your position size over time. And then once price appreciation comes, you have this flywheel effect where your back can turn into something very substantial here. With staking now live, I would highly advise you to stake it, set it, forget it, and let it ride to Q4. Okay, and the last thing here, just to show you the adoption here of the users and the community, over 100 million token here, AMP token already staked here. So those two projects, very bullish on. Again, my biggest conviction hold here, black gold on Solana. Okay, now covering Aerodrome here. and my updated price prediction for Airdrome. Something very, very important happened for Airdrome here that most people are sleeping on, especially if you don't have it on your radar. And this is simply that Airdrome actually managed to hold the bull market support band despite this massive, massive fear, guys. This is something you don't see too often here. Solana didn't hold it. Other projects also currently looking weak at this current time. We expect strength here to happen in Q4. Airdrome actually showing strength right now. Held that level beautifully, as you can see here, and it's actually looking very, very nice. And I'm also noticing here a lot of whale buys coming in right now. So whales are building a position. In combination with this coinbase news, I think we can expect higher here. And also here, in comparison to its Ethereum chart, it's also looking good here. Actually looking like it wants to outperform Ethereum. And if this were to happen here, just on its Ethereum pair, it's going to outperform Ethereum by 70%. So things are looking good. I don't want to jump the gun here, but this is actually looking much, much better than a couple weeks ago. And I'm very, very hopeful to see, hopefully, Airdrome here actually breaching this $1 mark and going much, much higher. All right, coming to the end of the video, but a very, very important part, because I'm starting to notice here some comments, also private DMs here, that a lot of people are lost. They FOMO into strength, they sell into panic, and they're nowhere near where they expected to be here at this current stage of the cycle here. And caution, avoid this mistake right now. And I want to just tell you something here, a little bit philosophical here in the crypto space, which might help you here. Never put yourself in a position of weakness here. What does this mean here? Very, very simple. Before you make a decision here, any investment decision, always ask yourself this question here. Am I putting myself in a position of weakness or not? Is there a chance I'm putting myself in a position of weakness or not? And how does this occur? If you're usually in a place where you want to go all in or not, this is a position of weakness. If you're in a place here where the chart is telling you there might be more weakness, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable, bad place here. Always position yourself or put yourself in a position of strength. What does this mean at this current place here? In my personal opinion, this just simply means right now, you can have your position, it's fine, hold your conviction backs like I'm doing, but right now I think it's advisable to at least have a cash position, guys. This puts you in a position of strength. Why is that? Because if we dip lower, you're actually happy. You have cash you want to deploy. If we repair, you're also very happy because you already have the position. If you're all in right now, and if we dip, you tend to panic sell. So always put yourself in a position of strength, whatever that might mean to you here. Very, very important, and something that I learned here very, very early on, unfortunately, by doing very crucial mistakes that only pain here, sometimes only pain can learn you those lessons here. Now, what I also want to show you here, again, everybody is calling for alt season again. Every single sign of relief, alt season, let's go, alt season. Even the bigger accounts here, just farming you for engagement, farming you for referral links. Guys, usually alt season only happens here when actually most of their Bitcoin, altcoin to Bitcoin pairs reach their true bottom here. True bottom being, you can look in the past here, and as you can see here, we still have long ways to go. And this is why my base case is still alt season, most probably towards Q4 here, and a little bit more weakness right now. If I'm wrong, I'm absolutely fine. I hold my positions, I hold my market caps, and if we go higher, I'm prepared. I'm playing from a position of strength, okay? At the end of the day, guys, be bullish on yourself. That yields the most returns. Do your own research. Super, super important. Most important thing is, don't get wrecked.
God given up from blue tops like Mars Simpson, just hard discipline, pot simmering, cooking up, no rocks in the pan, watching the plan form in the sand, bidding castles out of thoughts.